Hello, good afternoon. My name is Josef Waltel. I'm a co-founder and CEO of Software-Defined Automation. I'm co-presenting our talk on transitioning to software-defined factories today with Thomas Mühlecker and Robin Braumann from Software-Defined Automation. And what's that talk all about? First of all, where's the problem in manufacturing and industrial in general? That's a very recent article from Forbes. And basically, it shows that there is a significant lack in manufacturing workers and also skilled technicians for reasons we might not like, but actually globalization forces us to bring a lot of manufacturing back into developed countries. This article suggests if you don't have the people, then let's just automate more. Guess what? We have a problem. That's the demography of automation engineers in America. And actually 9% are in their 20s. So if we don't have the people to produce stuff, we automate more, we don't have the people to automate. There is a problem. That's Robin's desk. This is how it works. This is a modern software engineering workstation. He has a very nice engineering software, and this is how he manages all the hardware, all the deployments. That's very natural, that's called DevOps. This is the AWS console. You see all different types of compute instances, all different services where hardware is behind, but you can address it with a fingertip or with a call of an API. That's the pendant for those 9% of automation engineers that are in their 20s. This is hardware, software coupled industrial computers. They are called PLCs, programmable logic controllers. They are from different brands, and not only are they incompatible, also the software stack to program them is not compatible. So that's the software. Compare this with what we've seen how Robin likes to program. That's software that sometimes runs only on 32-bit Windows operating systems. And very often those IDEs in development environments are not even compatible within the same vendor in different versions. That's the deployment mechanism, and that's no joke. There is car companies where basically people walk with a laptop with Windows applications to the computers, installing new software, or flying, in worst case, flying around the world. That's code management. Yeah? That's a USB pen in a factory floor. We see this really all the time. In modern systems, you have Git, you have a proper code management, you can branch, you can merge. Actually, ultimately, that leads to faster rate of innovation by having very reliable and high-quality systems. But don't take my word for it. That's actually real quotes from our customers. First one is, we've been on a call with a mining company where they literally said, hey, here is one guy who will retire in 3 months. This is the only guy who knows what's really on the PLCs that control our stone breakers in our mine. The second one is, something that's really tragic. There is a company we talked to in the energy system. They sell to US and to European customers. They have Siemens in Europe. They have Rockwell in the US. They have double teams that cannot really collaborate because they develop the same software 2 times. Double the cost, double the rate of error. And this is my favorite. Very talented software engineer, young university grad, blatantly said to us, actually, I looked at the automation stack and the software, and if I need to work with this, I'll not work with that anymore, and I don't come to SDA. This is not what we want. Given the challenges that we have, we want the best and the brightest to work on building new manufacturing facilities in Europe and the US and elsewhere. So we believe it's time for industrial DevOps. What does industrial DevOps mean? It's not the same as in IT. Why? Because those systems never have been designed to be interoperable. Our customers very often start with simple, secure remote access. You need to have a tunnel to the PLCs that's highly secure, where you can fine-grain manage the control lights. Then backup. First of all, understand what's really the latest version on those industrial controllers, where everyone can go with a laptop and deploy time in the night shift. Then version control, engineering, all those IDEs are really very cumbersome to maintain. We'll talk about the Copilot and ultimately pushing down up to virtualization of this hardware. Long talk, this is how it looks like. Compare all the different vendors. By the way, all our customers have different PLCs of different vendors. There is very seldom really a monoculture. The shop floor appears like this. All different industrial computers, and the back of a Codus is a Rockwell PLC would have exactly the same functions. So let's double click into what those functions are. First of all, connectivity. We have our own built-in connectivity service. It's very lightweight, so it can be deployed in minutes, and it does not require a lot of firewall changes. Very important. If that's complicated, it's not going to happen, or every factory will have a different version of it. It then goes through our connectivity services, and it connects to a code repository that we manage. And with this comes very fine-grained user management. Normally, you have the credentials to control or change a PLC on a piece of paper or on a laptop of, in the worst case, an external system integrator. In our case, it's stored in the cloud, and the users accessing this do not even need to know the password and the login credentials. They can just be users with different rights, and we can also give specific time-restricted user rights. This solves a very pragmatic problem, because there is all types of collaboration in the shop floor. There are third-party companies coming in, and when they go and have done their task, they will not give away the backup, the password. And ultimately, you have this accrual of access rights in your own company, but also externally, which you don't want. You cannot change the password, because then your own guys could not access your industrial controllers anymore. So we solved it in an IT manner. This is the backup. You could say, I want a backup every day. You could say, I want a backup after every shift. And not only can you detect if something changed by whatever means on your industrial controller, you could also very nicely notify other people. So a very concrete use case from our customers. Shift manager wants to have a mail with exactly the changes into the controller space in the last shift before the shift to really have a good start to understand what's happening in the shop floor. What does this backup, how does this differ from existing solutions? It's all in the cloud, connectivity is built in, you do not need to go to local factory IT, you do not need local IT stuff, and we can also deploy. So we can do a backup and deploy back in a couple of minutes. Complete disaster recovery in a couple of minutes with our solution. We have customers that work since years to roll out proper PLC backup in their manufacturing network. We can do this in weeks. And it's up very often more than 50% more cost effective. No local whatsoever. The only thing you need is a Linux or a Windows connectivity gateway where we put our software agent on. Next, once you have the files in the cloud, those are proprietary. There's a Siemens file, there's a Rockwell file. Those are not machine-readable files, they are binary. We can read the real text, the real code out, and we can display the code in our cloud environment, and we can show the differences. So you can go so far to say every shift manager would get a mail with exactly the changes graphically displayed in this case, function block. Well, I mentioned already, PLC engineers have their golden laptop, and on the golden laptop there is a lot of engineering software deployed on it. Very often that's virtual machines with different versions of IDEs of even the same vendor. That's just a huge operational cost. The second thing, it's a source of error. We can stream any IDE in a browser tab by just clicking on the code file that is attached to a PLC in our environment. And we can do this for Siemens, for different versions, Tierportal, Semantic Manager, Backoff, Twincard, Codesys, robot control software, and many more to come. And of course, we have customers that we co-develop and that obviously see some value in our software. Very concrete, Henkel, Düsseldorf, production of home care goods. For those that live in Europe, Pril, for dishwashers. They have efficiencies in licensing because you don't have one license per laptop. It's much cheaper, only per use, by streaming the IDs to the cloud. They have trusted connections, the management of system integrators that I just mentioned, fast exchange with externals, and of course, increased productivity. We're very happy to see that Henkel is happy and rolls it out, to different business units. The second is also to different geographies. Good. that's what we have built so far. What's our platform? But of course, we never stop. So, Tom, what did we do in the last month?
Yeah. So thank you, Joseph, and yeah, have a great day. Well, today we are pleased to announce a couple of new features. So in a strong alignment with our customers, with our existing customers, we were developing the new features to address a certain need in various fields in the world of technology and also digital connectivity. So let me introduce first the local client, which now supports also the connectivity. It is designed to really support connectivity from any Windows-based workstation to our controls managed in the SDA cloud. Ultimately, this also supports the IT department of our customers to really have the local Windows machines to enable the connectivity to different controls. Then the second thing, we are proud to present SSO integration, a single sign-on with Active Directory, which is fully integrated with our SDA console now. This supports the IT departments of our customers to just manage the OT assets in their IT infrastructure and allow managing the assets there. Yeah. Okay. Then, besides the existing PLC vendors like Siemens, Beckhoff, Codesys, we are now supporting also B&R, and we have fully integrated the B&R platform into our SDA console. This allows basically a deployment, backup, so the whole lifecycle of PLCs of type B&R. And then we can also proudly announce the backup integration of Rockwell, which is now there for private review for pre-selected customers, so they can now really safely store critical assets and restore the assets whenever there is any unexpected behavior.
Super.
All right.
Tom, thank you very much. Pretty impressive, and we also have to thank our customers for being such good partners in co-developing those features. But the more we work with customers, the more we see that the problems are very pragmatic at some point in time. There is cases where people just reverse engineer existing PLC programs that are not properly documented, that are on a machine that just came over from a machine builder and you did not want to take the toll of a service contract. So a lot of time is spent here for heavy lifting and shifting that might not be necessary. Robin, is there something we might be able to do instead of having people full day and night looking at code that someone else has written and not properly documented?
Yeah, Joseph, that's a good question. I gladly can say I have a solution for that. We have the SDA factory agent. The SDA factory agent is a system engineered to provide engineers with an explanation of the code. What I really want to emphasize here, we are not doing a line-by-line explanation of the code, because that is knowledge transfer that is not really necessary for any developer ever. What we really emphasize on is the generation of a behavioral explanation of the code that is deployed to the PLC.
That actually reads really quite understandable, even for a non-PLC developer. How do you grade if that's a good explanation?
So you see, at SDA we have a team of automation engineers where we handcrafted a rating system ranging from 1 being the lowest to 10 being the best, where we can assess the quality of each explanation.
Good, but playing devil's advocate, that's a static thing, and we know that there is a lot of changes on a daily basis to the PLCs. What if someone changes something in a night shift because something broke and they needed to keep their machine up?
So you see, SDA has a versioning, and we utilize that now. So the thing is, the SDA factory agent doesn't simply generate an explanation for just one project or just one file. What we can do here is we create the explanation of what has changed from one version to another to guarantee that if something goes south, you can quickly find the root cause of the error.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we look at it?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah.
Wow. Still, next tough question. I do also have a factory that's in the US, and there is not structured text used as programming language, more ladder logic. What do you do then?
Yeah, so you see, we thought structured text looks cool, right? But what looks even cooler is ladder logic. So we thought, yeah, why not? We can now fully generate an explanation for entire Rockwell projects. And we can also decide the depth of the explanation. It's just, you can say either one function block inside the ladder logic, inside the ladder diagram, or the entire project.
Wow. So let me think. That means we can back up, we can decompose the project, we can then select things, we can then explain it, we can explain changes, we can explain changes in different types of ways to program PLCs. If you have that, can you also generate code?
Yeah. So the thing is, the next logical conclusion for our team is, once we crafted a system that can understand code, why don't we just generate code, right? So what we can see here is a simple prompt, 6 lines, if I count it correctly, that basically reads data from a data block and then processes it. And yeah, so the result is we have a fully production-ready code that is not just working, it is fully fully commented, which eases the integration and the onboarding to other developers.
Wow. Now I cannot wait what comes out next from this effort. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. But Joseph, your questions were really good, but let me ask a question. What should the audience now take home from our presentation?
First of all, we are extremely pleased that we have customers that really help us develop this awesome technology. We are a very humble company, so we really focus on solving problems that are prevalent and really pressing for the automation engineer. We work every day to make the life of automation engineers easier. And if it's only one thing, then if your PLC and code management looks like this, reach out to us, we might be able to help. Thank you.